In today's video, I'm going to teach you to take your very first step into becoming a millionaire. The American dream actually, for me, is a lot different than it is for a lot of people. To go on a vacation, if I'm in Hawaii for 2 weeks and I end up wanting to stay another 2 weeks, I have that financial independence to just stay there. That's my American dream, is that I have enough income from other sources that I don't have to worry about anything anymore. All right, so here we go. We're going to get into this. Step number one. This is going to be a tough one. You ready? You have to write down all of your expenses and your income. It's simple. I don't care if you do it on a computer. I don't care if you get yourself a piece of paper. I don't care how you write these down, but you have got to know what you have coming in and what you have going out the door. The reason why this is so important is because a lot of you, shame, are living in a deficit every single month, and most of you don't know. Think about this. How often do you get to the end of the month when you're paying your bills and you go, I don't know where the heck all the money goes? It's because you're not creating that budget that you need. Now, once you've done this and you find out that you are in a deficit, if you're not in a deficit and you have a surplus every month, congratulations. You're gonna go on to step two. But for you, those of you that are still actually in that deficit, it's time for you to make some changes. Here are some things that you can do without going too crazy to change your life to get yourself in a monthly surplus. After creating a budget, if you find out that you're in a deficit a few $100s a month, here are some simple things to do. Are you contributing to a 401k? Can you work a few more hours at work? Can you get a weekend job? Are you in a career where you're so comfortable, you're just sitting there and lollygagging around, even though you can make $3, $4, $5 an hour more somewhere else? If you find yourself in that situation, get a better job. Stop settling for mediocrity. If you're a few $100s short every single month, yet you're contributing $500 a month to your 401k, winner, chicken dinner, there you go. You've just solved your problem. Other things you can do is, and I know 80 to 90% of you out there are doing this. Raise your hand if every year you can't wait for January to hit so you can go get those taxes filed to get your awesome $5,000, $8,000, or like I've had up to $15,000 tax returns. Don't you realize that you're giving the government an interest-free loan on money that you need because you're running a deficit every single month? If you are getting a $5,000 tax return every single year from the IRS, that's the same as $416 a month, erasing that $300 a month deficit that you're probably in. So those are some simple things that you can do. You can work more hours at the current job that you're doing. If you're not working full-time, get to full-time. If you're working full-time and you can work more hours, get that overtime paid to increase that income to get yourself in a surplus, you need to be doing that. If you need to get a weekend job, I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to stop making Sundays all about football. You're gonna have to get up and get a second job. You can lower your 401k contributions and understand this is only a temporary thing. It's not gonna kill you. But Brian, I'm worried about my retirement. You're not gonna have one if you continue on the path that you're going. And if you're getting that $5,000, $8,000, or $15,000 tax return like I used to get, then you need to get your W-4 changed at your current job. Mark yourself as married instead of single zero. Mark yourself married and 2 dependents. You have to do those things to get into that monthly surplus. Step number 2, now that we know that we're in a monthly surplus, we're on our way. But here's what we have to do now. Now that we have everything written down, because this is all about getting you richer every single month. I want you richer every month without having to change the world. So here's we go. Step 1 to getting richer, write down everything. Make sure we have a budget. Where are we going? Where is everything being spent? Are we in a surplus or deficit? That's step 1. Step 2 is getting out those bank statements and those credit card statements.
Listen, if you don't know where your money is going every month and you're not paying your credit card bills off every single month, you're not a credit card person. Cut the credit cards up and stop using.
Then you can move on to step number 2 to becoming richer every single month, and that's by eliminating all the dumb purchases that you're making. It's simple. You're gonna go in there and you're gonna highlight all your stupidity. What's stupidity? Stupidity is fast food. Stupidity is trips because you're bored to Walmart, Target, or Target. TJ Maxx, whatever stores that you're going to and you're spending money that you don't even have because you're bored.
People spending money they don't have on things they don't need. Money they don't have on things they don't need.
So what you want to do is you want to eliminate that frivolous spending. We want to get our spending down to what are our necessities, because that's going to get us richer every single month. If we've done step 1 and we are in the surplus now, we're going to further that surplus with the step 2 by simply getting rid of the garbage, the nonsense, the bull crap spending. Here's a great example. I have a friend who, by the way, has a very good living condition, meaning she doesn't even pay rent. She's got a lot going for her. She's a nurse. She makes over $50,000 a year. In addition, she has a little side gig making about $20,000 a year. So she's making 70 grand a year. And she came to me and she goes, Brian, I don't know what is going on. I am broke all the time. I never have enough money. I even have to ask for help sometimes from people. I gave her one simple little task. I just said, why don't you go through your bank statement and I want you to add up how much you spend on just stupid spending, the fast food type spending. She comes back to me and guess what? I want you to take a guess right now. Comment down below, how much do you think every month she spent on, this is just fast food? You're wrong. $1,100 a month on McDonald's? Taco Bell? $1,100 on fast food?
Food is entertainment. It is not nutrition. If you want to do entertainment, you do entertainment when you're not broke and in debt and don't have an emergency fund. You will have a better meal when you learn to cook at home.
I don't care who they are, honestly. I don't care if you're Dave Ramsey himself. Everybody has bull crap spending. All right, so now we finished step one, we are budgeted and we are in a surplus. We are getting richer now every month by going to step two, and that is to make sure that we are not being stupid with our money and we're spending it accordingly on only necessities. What's a necessity? It's rent, it's gas, it's food, maybe clothing. It ain't about going to get the name brand clothing. You might have to go to Walmart. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to put your Chanel purses away. So now we're ready for step number three, and that's the delegation of the surplus money we have. So this is a three-step process here. Step three is three-step process. One, we're gonna take all our surplus. So if we have $500 a month in surplus now because we are smart, we flipped ourselves around, we stopped our stupid spending, we are gonna take that $500 and we're gonna put it in a savings account. And we're gonna save up somewhere around $2,500. Why $2,500? Because here's what ends up happening is we have these little emergencies in life. And statistically speaking, I think they said, what is it? 80% of people do not even have $400 for an emergency. The $2,500 is so important because if you're driving around trying to get out of this debt, to get yourself through this first step of becoming a millionaire, you're gonna have issues come up. Your brakes are gonna go. Your kids are gonna need something. God forbid, you know, a major emergency happens, because those are just the facts of life. So step one of step three is to create a $2,500 emergency fund. Without that emergency fund, what's gonna happen is if you just start applying that money toward all your debt before the emergency fund, what's gonna end up happening is when you have that emergency, by the time you get done trying to pay that emergency, because now you're gonna have to go back to your credit cards, which we already established that you're probably not a credit card person because you can't pay them off every month, then you're gonna put yourself in a worse position. You're gonna be in a worse position than you were before you even started. What's the definition of insanity? What do they say? Repeating the same process over and over and over and expecting a different result. So this is why we're doing this. Emergency fund, $2,500 minimum. Step number two, we're gonna kind of do the whole Dave Ramsey approach. This is called the snowball effect. I got a cat named Snowball. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna line up our debts. All your credit card. Do you have a furniture payment? It's unbelievable, but a lot of people do. Your car payments, all your debts, all the way down to your mortgage, which is probably for most people their largest debt. And what you're gonna wanna do is, now that we have that $2,500 emergency fund, we're gonna start taking that surplus to get richer every month. So let's say we have credit card A, American Distress, is that what Dave Ramsey calls it? You're gonna take that $500 additional surplus that month and you're gonna slap it down right on that credit card. And if your balance is $500 and now it's paid off, your minimum payment is gone as well. So now you went from $500 a month richer to $550 a month richer, because now you've eliminated the $500 debt and the $50 a month credit card payment. You see how we are getting richer every month without really changing our life, without getting new jobs for the most of us, without going completely crazy. We're changing our circumstances by being disciplined. I know. It's probably a new concept for some of us out there. And trust me, it took me almost 40 years to get disciplined. I know I'm young and handsome looking, but yeah, I'm over 40. Part three of step three is now we're gonna get a full-fledged emergency fund. Most people out there, especially people with a family, that's gonna probably be right around 6 months worth of necessities. So if your necessities are $2,500 a month, that means your mortgage payment, your light bill, those types of things are all adding up to $2,500. You're gonna want 6 months worth of that put aside. So in that case, If it's $2,500 a month, you're gonna want $15,000 in your emergency fund. If you're a college student, if you're a younger person, you're still living at home with mom, you have a different living situation, 3 months might suffice for you. So you're gonna wanna have somewhere in the neighborhood, the same circumstances, $2,500 a month, you're gonna wanna have around $7,500 a month for a major emergency. So step 1, create the budget. Step 2, stop the stupid spending. Step 3, delegate that surplus money, tell it where to go. And if you follow these 3 simple steps, you are on your way. You have taken the first step to becoming a millionaire. All right, so if you've made it this far, I appreciate you staying, and I hope that you got some value out of this video. Hope I wasn't too harsh on you, but stop the stupid spending still. And if you haven't yet, like and subscribe. I'm Brian Heron, and we'll see you next time.